Welcome to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast. And today we're going to talk about the fallout of UFC 223. We're going to try to get past it as well. We're also going to talk about the fact I am not driving right now. That's a good thing. A little safer here in the studio at my bar. And after that, we're going to get into Conor McGregor, and we're going to get into a little bit of the future of what's kind of going on with this division. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel, like, head kick the bell icon, get involved with Fight Club TV. It's UFC content and gambling content together in one spot. Can you believe it? So today we're going to get into first the fallout of UFC 223. I don't want to beat a dead horse here and go over and over and over the fact that all the things that happened, all the horrible things Conor McGregor did and whatnot. Obviously, all of that stuff happened. People are injured. We're now moving forward, so let's get past that part of it and talk about the fighting aspect. Now, obviously, Khabib did his thing. He is now the lightweight champion. Very well deserved. Long time coming for him and people dodging him and all these other things that were going on prior to the Conor McGregor thing. So, great. Congratulations to him. Also, again, hats off to Ali Quinta. Did an amazing job stepping in a day's notice and still holding his own in there. But the thing what I really want to focus on now is what was going on and the rumors of things that were going on prior to this bus incident. I know I want to get past it, but I want to talk about before it. And Dana White had come out and he had said, prior to all of that, the situation with the bus, Dana White and Conor McGregor were in heavy conversation and negotiating for a interim title opportunity for Conor McGregor to come in against Rafael Dos Anjos. Now, Dos Anjos, for the fact that he was on his way to that shot, obviously we now know that Covington is going to be getting that opportunity, but there was conversation and negotiation taking place before UFC 223 that Conor McGregor was going to possibly face Dos Anjos. I think, first of all, that is ridiculous. The fact that Conor McGregor was even actually considering going to the welterweight division, and the fact that the UFC was backing this move. Obviously, it didn't happen, but the fact that it was even in a conversation is ridiculous with how much talent, what's really going on in the lightweight division, how it's one of the best divisions in the UFC at this point. So much going on, so much hype, great fighters coming up, some legends still there. I mean, there's a lot of great things going on in that division. So the fact that, they were looking for Conor McGregor to go somewhere else makes me believe that the UFC, is kind of letting Conor kind of do whatever he wanted to do. Yeah, great, go up in the division. But the fact that Conor McGregor, again, and I know I've said this many times, is running away from Khabib. I really, truly believe that. I really believe that's also stemming from some of the things that happened this past weekend. But the fact that, even before that, McGregor's looking to go to, he was looking again to give up a belt and go to another division. And that's ridiculous. The fact that he was a featherweight champ, moved up, then tried to, was going to face actually Dos Anjos at that time, then decided to go up, face Nate Diaz, then, Eddie Alvarez was the champion. Yeah, Eddie Alvarez was the champion. He comes back, he fights him, he wins, and now he gives up that belt. So now he's given up the belt again. And they were still okay with him prior to the stripping of his belt, apparently, or maybe that was part of the negotiations, but he was going to another division. And I think that's just ridiculous. We all want to see that fight happen, McGregor versus Khabib. We want to see that fight happen. That's going to be such a spectacular fight. And obviously with the hype and everything behind it, that's something that really needs to happen, I think, for this division to keep moving forward. And the fact that there were rumors about that, I really want to hear what you guys got to say about that also, because I feel it's ridiculous, and to me, to hear that portion of this story, which I don't really feel like it's getting much headlines really, the fact that that was something that was said, that he was, Dana White had come out and said, and legitimately has said that, is just, I feel, another opportunity for Conor McGregor to find another way out of not fighting Khabib. And I still fully believe that that's just where he does not want to be. He does not want to be one-on-one with Khabib. He does not. And some people this weekend, and I know Joe Rogan had apologized for it, but which I didn't really think it was that bad, actually. I know Joe Rogan apologized for kind of criticizing Khabib's basically striking, his stand-up striking. And then I don't think he went crazy and really, totally knocked it. But Khabib didn't have to do that much in this fight. And some people are saying, oh, there's holes in his game or whatever it may be. I mean, honestly, I give Al Iaquinta a lot of respect going in, but I also believe that Khabib, is good enough where he didn't have to go in there and just smash out Al Iaquinta. I think he just did what he needed to do. He was standing, he kind of gave up on the takedowns, which also goes to Al Iaquinta doing a good job in getting out of them, but he wasn't as relentless as we've seen him, and he stood up and stood a whole round, and actually after the fight, Khabib's team was actually upset with the fact that Khabib was standing and they didn't stick to the game plan of just going in there and taking him out. So you could be on either side of that conversation regardless, but it really comes down to the fact that, Khabib is waiting for the next contender for himself now. And whatever Conor McGregor is going to be doing, I do believe that Khabib and Tony Ferguson should not be happening right now. Obviously, also, Ferguson is going through surgery. So the fact that Ferguson's going through surgery, Khabib now at this point needs to find an opponent. And something that has the hype behind it also, because I believe that even with what's happened with Khabib and Conor and all this stuff, people are actually want to know who the hell is this guy that Conor McGregor went so crazy about. This cocky, arrogant fighter that really nothing seems to bother him. He's a one-man army, and he does his own thing, and he, is not concerned with what other people are doing. And now it's at the point with whatever the whole rest of the story is with Lobov and all their stuff. But somebody got under his skin. And that's what people are starting to talk about and saying, who is this guy? Now Khabib's star is shining a little brighter now. Mainstream, not, it's a little bit there. I mean, there's people who know nothing about the UFC, but we're asking, who is this guy that got Conor McGregor to go crazy? People want to know who this guy is. Now Khabib is the champion of where Conor was, and it really is building up to something. So this reminds me of when Mayweather and Pacquiao, when they first tried to make that fight, years before it even happened. And I always said, if this fight doesn't happen for boxing, it's a travesty if it doesn't happen. And when it happened and happened later, when whatever they're saying that Pacquiao, wasn't fully, himself or whatever it may be. But this is kind of that situation where you can't let time go by. You can't let just, all right, years down the road, it would have been great if Khabib and Conor faced each other. Now, they're in their prime, they're at the peak of their athletic ability, and now they're at the point, okay, this is when this happens. This doesn't happen 3 years from now. This happens right now. Conor was just stripped. Khabib just got the title. They're talking about September. I really believe, though, that, there is an opportunity for this fight to happen, but obviously there is the criminal charges and that kind of thing, but I don't believe that that's going to be in the way of this fight happening. He's not going to be, I don't think, he's not going to be banned, he's not going to be suspended, he's going to be, holding on to certain, lawsuits, and financially I believe there's going to be a situation there that's going to be millions of dollars for fighters. The Barclays Center, security, all these people are going to be suing, Ray Borg and Michael Chiesa, and they're going to be suing, and some other fighters, and whatever it may be. So he's got financially an issue here. But maybe Khabib gets one fight before it, but why not just make this happen? And Dana White has already even come out today and said he still respects Conor McGregor. They talked again, and he respects him and all this other stuff. So it sounds like he's shifting gears. It sounds like maybe Conor was more apologetic than the first time when they talked. It was right after, and Conor didn't really seem too apologetic from what Dana White says. So if things are getting a little more mended on that side, and now you've got Khabib looking for a fight, and the hype is there, and everything's there, and this would be a massive, massive fight between them. I still really hope that it's going to be in Russia, although with what's happened and the landscape of everything, maybe that doesn't happen. Now they're talking about November possibly happening in Madison Square. Madison Square Garden. In September. That is where that would be. Is where they're normally now they're trying to do a card. which was UFC 217 that I was at. So they're looking to do that. I hope it's there because I will definitely be there if they're doing it in Madison Square Garden. There is no doubt I will be at that fight. But if it's in Russia, I will not be there. So that's the situation, basically. And the way that I'm looking at it, that, one, it's ridiculous that Conor McGregor was heading to the welterweight division for an interim title, not even the actual title. I mean, one, it's dumb him going there, but for an interim title, sounds like a way out. But now that Khabib is the champion, what do you guys think? Do you think this fight's going to be happening this year? Do you think it's not going to be happening ever? Where do you think it's going to be going? Is GSP going to be at this point where Khabib wants to go? It doesn't sound like GSP is too much on board with that, and I hope that doesn't happen, to be honest with you. I really believe that Khabib would take him out. You guys may disagree. You can also let me know on that also, but I believe Khabib could take him out just where the health issues that's going on with GSP and all these other things. That's the only reason why. Obviously, in prime, that would be a different story, a better fight, more to talk about. But at this point, I don't believe that George St. Pierre is ready for something like that. It just doesn't seem right. But let me know what you guys think overall about all of everything that we talked about today. Again, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, get involved to Fight Club TV. And this is Mr. UFC Vegas, Fight Club TV.